There's an article we came across in the Globe and Mail. It was written by Cameron Chell of Business Instinct Group here in Calgary. It was featured in the Globe and Mail small business section, and it had some good advice that many businesses, I think, forget. And it was centered around the idea of kind of creation, innovation, and building a sustainable business. It talked about, you should know why your business exists. And kind of the two key takeaways, I think, are that it's all about customers and it's all about innovation, and that kind of hard work only gets you so far, but long-term vision and creation will get you the rest of the way. When I read the article, I immediately thought to the idea that capital obviously plays a big part of building a sustainable business, but it's not the first part. And again, this is, when you look at the theme of today's Emily episode, where we're talking about not hitting the panic button because you've now started a business and trying to figure out what to do. Many businesses make the mistake that I've got to go find the money first before I can go and do my thing. But the reality is that you don't need to find the money first. What you need to do is define your business first. You have to define your business. You have to figure out what the vision is. And many of that advice, you've heard time and time again. You can probably look in your Twitter feed, or you can go anywhere on the web, and everyone's talking about planning and vision and projections and have a plan, have a goal. But those things are really important. And what I have found, the reason for that being important is because it actually helps you figure out, do I really need capital? Or if I needed capital, maybe I need it in a different way. And so as an example, we oftentimes talk with businesses that have run into a problem, or a new business that says, well, because we're kind of stuck in the planning and development mode, we need a couple $100,000 just to float our overhead until we get that first customer. But the truth of it is, you need to go find the customer first. You need to go and offer the product or the service first. You don't need to wait until everything is perfect. And to the extent that you choose to borrow the money because your business hasn't figured those things out, what I've seen is you immediately start from a deficit position, because most times when you borrow money, you're borrowing money because you can have a degree of confidence that the future cash flow is going to be there. But if you don't have a plan, and if you don't have a product that you've offered to customers that you can sort of measure and figure out, how do you get any sense of confidence that the future cash flow is going to be there? And when you borrow money, many times you have to give guarantees, or you have to give security, or you have to offer up your house or different assets, or need a co-signer. But to do all of those things without knowing what the future cash flow looks like is not a very prudent business decision. And so in this particular article, Cameron talks about, being innovative and creative and trying to build a sustainable business. And I would agree. I would say that you need to do all of those things. And in the context of mlenow.ca and what we do every day, you don't want to come and borrow money or go and talk with banks or lenders unless you've done all of those things. Because in the course of doing all of those things, you oftentimes identify, okay, in month number 9, we're going to need this much cash, or when we get to this stage of our business, here's how much cash we need. And you know what? Because we've done this work and we can kind of see down the road that cash would come in, then borrowing money probably does make sense, and a bank or lender would probably be interested to help you with that. But if you don't have all of that, and you stand in front of a bank or a lender and you go, look, we think we've got a pretty good service, or we've been operating for a few years and we think we've got a pretty good service, but we haven't done a lot of work to figure out where our cash is coming from next year and the year after and the year after, then banks and lenders don't get very excited about wanting to consider your opportunity and help you out. And the truth is, you shouldn't be excited about wanting to go and borrow that money. So maybe it involves sitting down and taking out a piece of paper and trying to figure out where the future cash flow is coming from. And in order to figure out where your future cash flow is coming from, you might need to relook at your business. You might need to come up with maybe some different ideas, or you might need to improve some of the products that you're offering to your customers, or how you're offering them. And in the course of going through that exercise, you might stumble upon some new revenue opportunities that would make borrowing money quite a bit simpler. So we'd encourage you that if you think your new business or your existing business needs money, to jump on mlenow.ca, create an account, and get a score for your business. Once you've got your Emily score, you can match it against banks and lenders in the market that can approve you and fund you, and then you can get your information over to them so they can give you a commitment.